Hey everyone, thanks for your patience as we are waiting to get started here. My name is Kenneth Woody. I lead our partner recruitment team here at GreenCloud. And so as we have seen a lot of dealings with the COVID-19, the GreenCloud team has decided to put this webinar together to show you some remote options. So just some general housekeeping before we get started. If you could just hold all of your questions to the end, and then we'll be able to hear them all in the Q&A box. And then for the special offer, so anyone who decides to join as a new GreenCloud partner from now through June will be eligible for a $250 Amazon Web gift card. If you're a call-in attendee and you're not signed in via email, just send me a quick email at kenneth@gogreencloud.com, and I'll be sure to get you in line for the eligibility for that gift card. Just to introduce our panelists today, there's myself, there's also Justin Fox, who's a product architect at GreenCloud, and Rance Smith, who's a sales engineer. And we have John McBride, who is leading our product management team. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to Justin, and we can get started.
Thanks a lot, Kenneth. I appreciate that. Hello, everyone. My name's Justin Fox, product architect at GreenCloud Technologies. Here today to talk about remote work solutions and how GreenCloud can enable you to deliver those to your customers. Today, our goals of this meeting and this webinar is to ensure that you guys have a solution available to you to extend remote work capabilities to your customers. GreenCloud is here to provide you with that infrastructure and those solutions to help you accomplish that goal and needs of your customer. We have three primary options which we can deliver these services for you through our infrastructure as a service, our desktop as a service, and our private cloud offerings. All three of those meet different use cases and different needs. So that's why we have several of those to discuss. And of course, we also have ways that we can enhance those solutions with managed security solutions to ensure that your remote work solutions are completely secure. So first, let's talk about why GreenCloud. Why should you choose GreenCloud as your cloud partner? Well, GreenCloud is a channel-only cloud provider. A lot of our competition in the marketplace have channel programs, but they also have direct sales. GreenCloud does not have a direct sales program, so we work through you, and our goal is to help you be successful selling cloud solutions. We're also 100% US based. We offer on-demand resources. As mentioned earlier, we have both public and private cloud offerings, and we are located across 6 different data centers across the country, giving plenty of options for geographically redundant solutions to meet your customers' needs. So let's talk about some things to consider when working remotely. First and foremost, you got to understand the number of users that are going to be consuming that remote work solution. Then with those number of users, that's going to drive the total number of resources you need, in addition to the resources needed to run the applications that those users need. So here we're talking about compute, storage, the underlying networking to make sure that it's secure, that you're going to need to anticipate. Now, how do we get them to connect in? We want to make sure that connection is secure. A lot of remote work solutions have native security in them, and those connections can also be enhanced by adding things such as VPN, SSL VPNs, or additional transport layer security. One of the most important things is their bandwidth. What is that? What are all of those aforementioned things going to do to bandwidth requirements? Number of users, application demands, overhead of VPNs, all of those factors need to be taken in when considering the bandwidth that you're going to deploy at the cloud, but also the remote side. There's 2 sides to the connection, and both of those sides need to be considered. And finally, we need to understand the user needs. How do your users work? What type of users does your customer have? Are they task workers? Are they knowledge workers, power users? Those will drive and help you drive the solution or solutions from GreenCloud that you use to deliver that remote work experience. Do you want to use a shared solution such as an RDS solution? Do you want to use a dedicated solution such as DaaS or private cloud? So today we're going to talk about a few different options, as I mentioned, infrastructure as a service, our desktop as a service, and our private cloud. The first one we're going to discuss is infrastructure as a service and how it can be leveraged with remote desktop services to deliver that remote work experience. So what are some of the benefits of this particular option? Well, it's rapid provisioning and deployment for one. It's the shortest time to delivery from GreenCloud to you, the partner. Typically a 1 to 3 business day from submission of order to GreenCloud handing over the virtual resource pool for you to then deploy your remote desktop solution for your customer. Highly configurable and very flexible, scalable, scaling up, scaling down as you need, just so you can get the exact number of resources you need for your customer. This is a shared solution, meaning it's sitting on our GreenCloud's public cloud. A remote desktop services farm is shared compute, so multiple users are sharing the same VM. It can support two-factor authentication, has native security coming in through the SSL or TLS connection into the RDS farm, but security can also be enhanced through VPNs and, as we'll talk about later, some of the additional managed security solutions that GreenCloud has to offer as well. So let's take a look at what that would look like on a diagram. So you'll have your remote headquarter office up on the top and some remote workers or mobile workers coming into the GreenCloud virtual data center that we have provided to you, the partner, for your end customer. And you can see those connections can be from a headquarter, can be an IPsec tunnel, site-to-site VPN. The remote workers can use SSL VPNs through laptops, mobile clients, depending where they're working, whether it's their house, whether they're using a mobile hotspot, whether they're maybe in an airport or a hotel, someplace like that working. This solution enables a work from anywhere experience into GreenCloud's infrastructure as a service. So now let's see how we can enhance an infrastructure as a service solution by adding DaaS to it. Desktop as a service, this is more of a dedicated solution where each user is going to get a dedicated VM. Unlike remote desktop services where several users will share the same virtual machine, in a desktop environment, each user will get their own dedicated desktop. So you won't have one particular user that can impact other users like you do on a remote desktop solution. This is going to be powered by the VMware Horizon DaaS platform. GreenCloud's infrastructure is a VMware platform. And so we use their desktop as a service platform to deliver this solution to you. We combine this with our infrastructure as a service solution to deliver a true dedicated remote work experience for you and your customers. With that said, the complexity added from DaaS does extend the install time to roughly 10 to 15 business days. There's a lot of back-end work on the desktop as a service platform that has to be done to instantiate that tenant for your customer. And then at that point, GreenCloud can hand over the environment for you where all of the resources are ready for you to then deliver and expand your pools to deliver desktops to your end users. The third option we have, before we get to the third option, is going to be looking at that diagram. So how is this different from infrastructure as a service with remote desktop services? So now you can see desktop as a service has infrastructure as a service. If you look down in the bottom left of the diagram here, we have our vCloud Director IaaS environment. This is where you're going to run all of your application servers, your Active Directory environment, the line of business applications for your end customer. And then you can see the other two sections will show the individual desktops per user. And then the far one on the right will show the backend management appliances that enable the secure connection and the delivery of those desktops to those end users. Towards the top, you can see very similar, enabling a true work from anywhere experience. You can have your office workers at a headquarters. You can have your workers at home. You can have mobile workers using a hotspot coming in over just the standard internet connection, or also leveraging IPsec VPNs or SSL VPN clients as well. Like remote desktop services, DaaS does also support two-factor authentication and the additional managed security solutions that we'll talk about here in just a few minutes. So let's talk about the third option that we have. This one coming up is private cloud. And this is really driven by a few specific use cases for your customer. It could be there's a particular regulatory compliance requirement that you would need, or it could be that you are a Citrix partner and you're very versed in the Citrix solutions and want to be able to deliver Zen Desktop or Zen app to your customer, GreenCloud can provide you with a private cloud environment to allow you to then deliver those additional solutions and meet those regulatory needs. So GreenCloud is going to provide here hardware. We're going to give you dedicated compute hosts, and we're going to give you a dedicated VMware environment. So it's not shared in that compute in any way. That is dedicated to you. And that's how it meets those regulatory reasons, but also because it's a dedicated VMware environment, we can also enable additional solutions like Citrix. What GreenCloud will provide, very similar to what we will do in our other solutions, GreenCloud is going to manage that infrastructure, that back end, those hosts, that hardware, the VMware solution. We're going to make sure that those are maintained, they're monitored, they're patched, and they're kept up to date when it comes to those solutions. We'll also provide all the necessary networking that you need to make sure that you can deliver this solution to your end customer. So this could be any type of connectivity back to a primary office. It could be just public internet access. Those types of solutions we'll be able to deliver to your private environment as we do with your public environments for infrastructure as a service and desktop as a service. Finally, as with all of our solutions, we have standard customer service and frontline technical support available to you in our all US-based operations. So let's take a look at what public versus private looks like from a diagram perspective. So on the left, you can see how private cloud is truly dedicated to one particular customer. In this use case, it's company A, and that company is able to consume those resources how they see fit. Just for them, meeting any regulatory compliance or any high maybe computing demands that they may have, or delivering an additional solution such as Citrix. In the shared infrastructure, GreenCloud has a larger pool of resources that we're managing that we carve up using VMware's micro-segmentation capabilities to give each individual customer slices of that larger resource pool in a secure fashion. So that's how primarily they will differ. They are sitting in the public shared. You are sitting on a larger resource pool that's being securely carved up, where in private it is dedicated to that specific end customer. So now let's talk about how we can secure these solutions for you and your customer. So inherently, GreenCloud's infrastructure is secure. We're delivering a VMware platform, whether it's infrastructure as a service, desktop as a service, or private cloud. Those are delivered on an inherently secure platform using VMware validated designs and reference architectures. But that doesn't secure your end customers' operating systems and their applications, right? That provides the top level. We provide the top level of security, and you, our partner, deliver that security to your end customer. And this is how we can help you do that. We have a full suite of managed security solutions that we can bolt on or add on to your offering in your cloud services, starting with the next generation firewall that's going to be powered by Fortinet using their FortiGate solution. And we have a full host of email security solutions from anti-spam protection, sandboxing. One of the most important ones in email security today is phishing and security awareness training that we have available through that email security solution. We have vulnerability management, which is an ongoing application and network vulnerability scanning service that helps ensure that your vulnerabilities are patched and notifies you when they're found, but also keeps you in any type of regulatory compliance by making sure you're maintaining your systems and managing and constantly scanning for vulnerabilities. We offer endpoint security, and we also offer endpoint detection and response, or EDR, which are complements to traditional antivirus solutions that you may be offering your customer today. And sort of bringing that all together, one of the most important pieces of our managed security solution is going to be the SIEM. So we have a log analysis SIEM that's backed by our SOC that is going to be aggregating all of that data from those different security solutions into a central point, and then the SOC will be analyzing that data for any abnormalities or threats and taking the necessary actions based on the critical nature of the threat. We also have, if you're not looking for ongoing services, we have professional services. These are more one-time solutions, kind of purchased as needed, penetration testing, incident response. So should you get an incident that happens and you need assistance in remediating that, you can contact GreenCloud, and we have incident response solutions we can take care of for you. We also have risk assessment. This is a great place to start with security solutions. Go ahead and get a risk assessment done, outline that risk profile for your customer, and then from those other solutions, you can build a solution that addresses those risks for your customer at GreenCloud. So that's what we wanted to talk about today. How can you enable remote work for your customers using GreenCloud services, and how can you make sure that those remote work solutions are secure? I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions right now. Looks like we have a question about what are the next steps on becoming a GreenCloud partner. So how do you become a GreenCloud partner? I'm going to go ahead and turn that over to Kenneth and let him field that question.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. So we have a whole partner onboarding plan where we walk you through the introduction of GreenCloud products and services and all the teams at GreenCloud. And if you're interested in becoming a partner, I just ask that you shoot me a quick email after this at kenneth@GoGreenCloud. We'll get you started in that onboarding process and walking you through becoming a partner.
Great, I appreciate that, Kenneth. Another question we have is asking about the IaaS with RDS solution, asking if there are any servers that don't work well, or is there a minimum bandwidth needed for the remote workers, house or at the data center? So multi-part question there. I'll try and answer that as best I can here. There are some applications that are simply not going to work well in an RDS environment. Typically, those are going to be video based, right? So streaming video solutions, high graphic intensive applications like AutoCAD or Revit, those types of solutions are not going to work well in an RDS environment. Is there a minimum bandwidth needed at the house? Typically for remote work through an RDS solution, most common cable solutions from the cable providers in your area will be sufficient. At the data center, you'll want to make sure that you aggregate all of your remote workers and understand that total number of users and the applications they'll be using to determine the bandwidth you'll need to properly support all of your remote users from all of their different entry points. Typically, it's safe to recommend about a megabit per user on average. We do have some knowledge base articles on our GreenCloud knowledge base that will help you identify the types of user you have and the amount of bandwidth you will need. It's specific to the knowledge base article is actually specific to DAS, but it will also apply to remote desktop services as well. But that will help you identify your users, their needs, and then be able to figure out about how much bandwidth you think you should need. But the beauty of the cloud and with GreenCloud is we can scale up and scale down bandwidth as you need it. It's a simple request for us to bump you to the next tier if you're hitting a point of contention where you're not getting the bandwidth you need. Let's see, another question here. What is the time frame for procuring these services? IaaS with RDS, DAS, and private cloud. So IaaS with RDS, quickest turnaround there that's going to be the simplest solution from GreenCloud to purchase. That's usually 1 to 3 business days for GreenCloud to hand it to you, the partner. And at that point, you will then begin deploying the RDS solution. Desktop as a service is a little longer, about 10 to 15 business days there. And again, that's where GreenCloud will hand you the environment for you to then build the desktops for your end users. So you'll want to add a little bit more time before you go live for the customers. Private cloud's a little longer. Again, these are dedicated hosts. So this is going to take more in the 60 to 90 day time frame as we procure equipment, instantiate the VMware environment, and then do the regression testing to make sure everything's solid before we hand it off to you. Looks like we got another question here. I'm going to hand over to Kenneth. How many partners does GreenCloud currently have?
Yeah, we currently have approximately around 660 GreenCloud partners throughout the entire nation.
Outstanding. I think that's all the questions that I see for now. So that's going to go ahead and conclude our webinar. Appreciate everyone for attending today. Look forward to working with you in the future. And again, feel free if you have any questions or looking to become a Green Cloud partner, reach out to Kenneth, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Justin, it looks like we got one more question in. It was sent to me privately. And Kenneth, I'm going to hand this to you. What are the profit margins that we can expect with this product?
Yeah, typically, our wholesale partners are anywhere from 30 to 40% profit margins, and sometimes above if they're layering on other security services and things like that. So typically like 30 to 40 points.
Excellent.
Thanks for answering that, Kenneth.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Have a great day.